The one thing you can't do on television is pretend to be somebody else. You know, so you can be great looking, you can be not so great looking, you can be smart, not so smart, just be who you are, because people see that.
Wow, still surreal. Today is a difficult day. There is no doubt that Jerry Springer was always himself, and we all saw that. Welcome to DBL. We are all still processing the news, and that clip was Jerry on our show just back in September, and he was giving us advice as we kicked off our 6th season. And now today, we are honoring our friend. Jerry passed away today after a brief battle with cancer at his home in Chicago. He was 79 years old. Jerry was a lawyer who served as mayor of Cincinnati in the late 70s. That was all before his hit TV show, The Jerry Springer Show, which began in 1991. It was a huge success, becoming the first show in a decade to top Oprah in the ratings. It aired for a remarkable 27 years before it ended in 2018, and there was never a dull moment. Take a look.
Let's take a look at the best fights.
I mean, who wants to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't love you? Why are we fighting to get this person back? It may have once been good, but it isn't anymore. No, don't let this person continue to hurt you. Let it go. Find someone who will love you back. Then you can have the happiness you want and deserve.
Wow, those were his final thoughts that he always wrote every day, straight from the heart. That was the real Jerry. He is survived by his daughter, Katie Springer, his sister, Evelyn, and his ex-wife, Micki. Jeff, what do you think?
Listen, we have an action-packed show today, and I'm glad we're honoring Jerry at the top of it. But what you just said, Sam, who he was, that was him. And we have a clip from our show, actually, because this is what he was like behind the scenes. And let's play that clip.
It has been so much fun being with you. You have a great show here. This will be a national hit. I'm telling you, you've got that talent. You guys are great. I swear to God, this isn't just...
It means a lot.
Oh, wow, that is great.
From his lips to God's ears.
I mean, that was a couple months ago. And for him to say that on air was very kind, but he also said that to each and every one of us behind the scenes. And that's who Jerry was. And he was a mentor, and he will be missed.
And he uplifts everyone. Erica, you have a story that I think really describes how he just treats every individual.
Yeah, back in 2000, I used to work for a radio station in Chicago that was in the same building where Jerry lived, so I would see him about once a week. And I would be downstairs picking up a package.
You were just an intern at the time.
I was an intern, and I was picking up a package, and he stopped and was like, where's your coat? Because it was snowing outside, and then the next week I was picking up a package, and he's like, what's this package you're picking up? And I was like, I don't know, it's for so-and-so. And he was like, have you ever looked in the package? And I said, no. And he goes, maybe you should look in the package and tell whoever keeps sending you down here to get their own package. And then I realized that Jerry was telling me that I was a drug mule.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
we knew Erica was Snowfall before the concept existed. Yeah.
So that was the last time I went to get that package. And so that picture is of an interview that I was doing with NSYNC, and he was telling me some stuff about the group, and just a really great guy. And to have him here on our show and how much he affirmed us was just, it was just really amazing. So this morning, I really just felt like we had lost a member of our family.
Yeah.
And he
I feel like America
missed.
feels like that,
Yeah.
honestly. And, you know, Erica, listening to you tell that story, what I take from that is, you know, a young, pretty girl on the streets of Chicago, you could have very easily, during the commercial break, been like, he said something really gross to me. But you know what he said to this young, pretty girl? Get a coat and protect yourself, because something weird, something that you might not know is going on. And he was looking out for you. He didn't know he was going to see you on a talk show set 23 years later. He did that because that was his instinct. He was a real one, and he will be missed. He changed television forever.
He sure did. And let me just say, like, in the breaks, he really was just a nerd. Just a really big political wonky nerd. So smart. And to find out this Jerry was this guy who's like, let's talk presidential history. Like, he was such a lovely mensch, and he felt like a member of your family the second he met you. Really a well-faceted human being, born in the bomb shelters of World War II, fought for for allyship for marginalized people. Just a really big loss, and we are thinking of him.
We are thinking of him and his family. Oh, he will be missed. Coming up on DBL, our senior executive producer, Burt Dubrow, was the original executive producer of Jerry's show. Burt is going to join us to share his memories of Jerry. Well, as we mentioned, Jerry Springer, a friend to our show, passed away today after a brief battle with cancer. He was 79 years old, and our senior executive producer, Burt Dubrow, was a very close friend of Jerry's and worked with him as the creator and executive producer of the Jerry Springer Show. Burt is joining us today to share some memories about his dear friend. Burt, hello, Burt, first and foremost. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. I can't imagine what you must be experiencing. We all know how close you and Jerry were.
Yeah, Sam, well, you, of course, know. Shocked. I think when he was with us in September, we didn't know. I certainly didn't know that he was sick at all. I found out with everybody else that it was a few months ago. I don't know that this is fully reported, but I believe they're saying that it was pancreatic cancer, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But either way, I've lost a brother and a friend today.
Burt, we are so sorry for your loss. I was like, don't cry, Tori. Anyway, many people just knew Jerry from his TV show, but what was he really like off camera? Because he was so authentic with you.
Well, funny as hell, first of all. You guys know that. I mean, funny as hell. We overuse the word authentic all the time, but he was truly authentic. His favorite thing, well, first of all, he was a baseball fanatic. His favorite thing was doing the warm-up before the show with me. We used to do it together. He would tell horrible jokes.
My kind of guy.
Mainly by Henny Young. Yes, he is your kind of guy. By Henny Youngman, who maybe some people in the audience will remember Henny Youngman. But I had bought him a Henny Youngman joke book, never thinking he would use those horrible jokes, and he used them all the time. But he was so wonderful. His wife, Micki, his daughter, Katie, his grandson, he lived for his grandson. I mean, briefly, one of the last times I saw him, not the last time here, but he showed me his phone and he said, now I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show you this picture, and you tell me this is not the most beautiful child you have ever seen in your life. I know everybody says that, he said, but in my case, it's true. And he showed me a picture of his grandson, and in fact, he was a beautiful child.
Oh, man. Burt, obviously, we're thinking about you. I texted you this morning when I heard this news. One of my favorite moments from when Jerry was on our show a few months ago is you surprised him with his longtime friend and coworker, obviously Steve Wilkos. He was on our show. Take a look.
We both really love baseball, and we started talking about baseball, and the next thing you know, like when Jerry really started, becoming huge, he didn't want to travel by himself, and he asked me to travel with him.
Aww.
And then, you spend that much time together on the road, and you spend a lot of time together. We became very close.
Yeah, and he's telling the absolute truth. We just, he's one of the people I trust most in life. I mean, he's just a great guy. He's a great guy.
It was definitely my favorite moment from the show because I wasn't looking at our monitor there with Steve. I was looking at Jerry and how excited he was when Steve came on. You can't fake that. So, Burt, tell us, how does this scene tell us who Jerry Springer was?
Jerry Springer, if you really wanted to see the real Jerry, then you watch The Final Thought at the end of the show. That's really who Jerry was. He wrote every single word of every one of those final thoughts. And by the way, the final thought came from this. He was doing editorials on the news before I found him to do the show. So when we started the show, we were trying to figure out a way to end it. And I said to him, why don't we just take the editorial that you do and lay it into our show at the end, and we'll call it, and we both came up with a final thought. I think it was both of us. It may have been some other people as well, but it was really the editorials that he used to do at the end of the news, and we turned those into the final thought. That's who Jerry was. Really, if you look at that, that's really who Jerry was. I used to say, if you really want to know the real Jerry, you'll find him in a restaurant by himself reading War and Peace. He was the opposite of what the Springer Show was, really.
Wow. Burt, I also want to extend my condolences again. I know how close you were, and honestly, a part of your legacy is intertwined forever. So what will you miss most about Jerry?
His friendship, knowing that he was there. He texted me on my birthday in April. He was at my daughter's bat mitzvah, dancing on the floor with all the kids, dancing with everybody on the floor with all the kids. So it was his friendship.
Burt, I'm going to throw a little icebreaker in here since Lynn's head's popping up on the side of you over there. But Jerry had his final thought. What do you think about Jeff having a final thought on DBL here?
Yes.
I think if that happens, Jeff, we'll literally make it your final. How's that? That'll be the end. So we'll take it literally.
There's a true professional right there. Burt, I love you. I texted you this morning, too. So sorry for your loss. Thank you for bringing Jerry into our lives because he really was an inspiration for me. The way he talked during the commercial breaks, he was fantastic.
And I'm so glad that I was able to share Jerry with you guys because you guys are my favorite. You know that. I love you all. And for me to be able to share Jerry like that, you have a gift. You have a gift now.
Thank you, Burt.
We are thinking about you. Thank you for taking the time to remember your dear friend Jerry with us today. And again, our thoughts are with you, his family, all of his friends. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I love you, buddy.
I miss you guys.
Miss you.